All right, guys, it's coming, man. It's coming. As much fun as today was, today is behind us. It is Conor Mania. Conor Mania is real, and we're going to ride the wave for the next week. So many people, as they look at this fight against Conor versus Dustin, are coming to the conclusion that Dustin can win, and here is why. Dustin is a better fighter now than the night that they fought. I do not disagree with you. I would push back and say, are you telling me that Conor isn't? And that's where the great divide seems to come in. Conor McGregor was not a champion of the world at that time. Conor McGregor was not selling out arenas. Conor McGregor was not an interim champion of the world. Conor McGregor had not changed weight classes and even changed sports to go on to take the greatest of boxing it ever had. Conor is clearly better now than he was then. And history will tell you, okay, when you're talking about fighting, absent of a big age gap, if two fighters fight and they rematch, the fighter that won the first time will win again, only quicker. And Conor is coming out and claiming he can get Dustin out of there in 60 seconds. Now, we're talking about Mystic Mac. Mystic Mac exited stage left prior to the Cowboy Cerrone fight. That was PR Mac. That was McGregor trying to get back on the good PR train. You guys may recall that. He was doing charitable work, and he was being nice to Cowboy, and he was laying everything down at the press conference, and he was talking about blood is going to be spilled, but it won't be bad blood. It will be the blood of competition. I only share with you, we haven't seen Mystic Mac where he's back making big predictions, but he got the nickname Mystic Mac by making predictions, and they 100% came true. I am very light on the idea that Conor gets Dustin out of there in 60 seconds. I'm very light on the idea that Dustin is not going to have a special surprise. Dustin, at the time that he fought Conor the first time, mentally is not who he is now. Physically, I don't know that he's a lot different. I've heard many of you say that. I don't know what evidence you could show me. Mentally, 24-year-old Dustin Poirier was very different. He wasn't ready for that kind of light. He questioned himself, and we see many of the greats do that. I'm very happy that Dustin is going to get this redemption story. And I'm more than willing to be open and observe this and come and tell you guys what happened. But I do have a fiduciary responsibility to you guys, because a lot of you listen to me and then you go part with your money. And I just want to remind you why the narrative that Dustin is better now than he was then, you've got to meet that with a counter narrative that so's Conor McGregor. So is Conor McGregor, not to mention Conor is much bigger. Now, while they both fought at 145 the first time, Conor has done a foray, not once, not twice, but 3 times at 170. So if you thought he was powerful then, I think we have to concede that he's going to have even more power now. The question is, can Dustin get out of the way? And I've heard many people try to break down why that left hand of Conor works. I have not heard anybody break it down accurately. That left hand of Conor's that you think is hidden behind a jab, at times it is. The best left hand Conor throws is when you throw a cross at him. Because he is a southpaw, he will slip, and that's when he comes back. He did it to Floyd Mayweather repeatedly. He has an excellent timing to read that and come back. It's not the jab you have to worry about. It's when you decide to execute on him. You can execute that same shot. Don't be a headhunter in the first round. Take that exact same shot, change elevation 4 inches, and sink it to the body. It's a different shot. It will garner a different reaction. When you come at Conor, his defensive left is the problem, not the offensive left. Keep that in mind.